Hey there, I'm Farmer Dave, and today I wanted to show you how we store our carrots and other root vegetables through the winter in a natural way. If we use more modern technology, we could store them in the refrigeration rooms right through the winter, but that would require a lot more energy. So what we're doing is we're using one of the oldest methods known to man, I would say, of storing vegetables through the winter. And here in New England, we need to harvest these crops, such as the carrots you see here, or the celeriac you see here, before the ground freezes. Because if we don't, then that the carrot will freeze and it won't store as well, and eventually going to rot. So right now it's the first week of December, and these crops have been harvested for at least a month now. And they've been in a cold storage room, running at about 38 degrees. And it's not only the cold temperature that's critical, it's also the humidity. And to maintain that humidity for 4 or 5 months in the winter in refrigeration can be a little tricky. So what we do is we keep them in refrigeration until I find that the ground soil temperatures have gone down enough, like they are now. They're at about 39 degrees. So that this environment where we are here, where it's a natural sandbank, is the perfect temperature now, but it's also the perfect humidity. Being sand, when it rains, the water will run through the soil, but if it doesn't rain, moisture will naturally come up out of the ground and keep that soil, that sand environment nice and humid, almost at a constant 90 to 95% humidity, which is perfect for the storage of this celeriac, carrots, beets, radishes, and other winter root crops like that. So again, we could keep them in refrigeration, but we're trying to do things as naturally as possible, and we're going back to the old method. So what we simply do is we excavate an area like we did with the tractor earlier this morning in this very sandy location. Now the ground temperature, if you go too deep, gets to be about a constant 50 degrees through the winter. If you're too high in that soil or sand area, you risk it freezing over the course of the winter, which would obviously damage the crop. So we want to make sure we have about 2 feet of sand on top of these carrots and celeriac, but we also have to be careful that we don't put them too deep. If we put them much more than, I would say, 3 feet underground, then that ground heat would actually cause them to be too warm in the winter and spoil. So I find that happy medium to be from about 2 feet to 3.5 feet down from the soil surface. If we get a snowy winter, that creates a blanket and the frost won't go as low. If we have a frigid, snow-free winter, then we risk that freezing ground going very low and possibly damaging the crop that's hidden there over the winter. And again, this is meant to be in the ground for 4 to 5 months. So we have to make sure we do everything right. So here you can see I'm standing and we've already taken out about 2 feet of sand. And now what we simply do is we scatter some of the carrots on the sand, trying to be very careful that we don't scratch them and cause any type of wound. You can also see they have not yet been washed. We want to keep that natural skin on them because it's going to help to protect them through the winter. So now you can see I've scattered a little bit of sand on top, and now I'm going to spread some more gently. However, I really only want a single layer between each layer of sand because I don't want the carrots to be touching each other too much, because if one carrot should start to rot and it's touching another one, then it's going to cause the rest of them to start to rot as well. And then when you get several carrots rotting, it creates heat, and that heat could heat up the whole pile and ruin the whole crop that's in storage. If we're doing celeriac, we would do it the same exact way. Put down a layer, bring sand on top, trying to do it rather gently so I don't cause any wounds. And you can see I'm drawing the sand from this area, and I'm basically making the next trench where I'm drawing that sand from for this trench. So we'll just keep moving along until we've buried the whole season's carrots, celeriac, beets, radishes.